Stricken, starting in the front with Tony.
Thank you for your time, Mikey. In this game, could you just take me through the successes in the first half where it seemed like offensively you were having success between the defensive and midfield line, and then what happened towards in the second half where Cincinnati seemed to bunker down, and your take on the last instance of this match as well?
Yeah, I think overall we made a lot of really good plays in the game, and we played more or less a game that you would feel pretty good about winning. But unfortunately, we just didn't make enough plays, from defensive, considering how many shots they had and how many times they actually got hold of the ball to concede 3 goals. Like, we can't be okay with that. And then when we score 3 goals at home, it's got to be 3 points. Ultimately, proud of the group because they turned the result around and kind of against the run of play where they got ahead of us 2 different times. And then it's last play of the game, and ultimately, we got to close the game better. We got to make that play. That's a play that has to be made. We kind of we drop lower than we've ever dropped on a defending corner or a defending kickoff, and then we have to take a duel. Yeah, we lose the duel. They score the goal, and that's the gut wrencher right there.
And so with that, what is the message to the group after the match in those moments in order to make sure that they are also built up to move forward in this in a teaching moment, but what's also the learning experience for the group as well?
Yeah, that's the focus, is that we have to learn from these moments. As much as they suck and everybody's going to be pissed off about it, we have to learn from it, and we have to mature as a group from it, because we experience a lot of things for the first time together, these kind of situations, right? And ultimately, we need individual guys also to mature so that they are more ready to make plays. Because I think the way the run of the game goes, this should be a comfortable win, and it ultimately ends up being a tie. So the challenge is to say we got to close games better, because it's now too many games where we left points on the table. We have to be upset about that. And we have to make sure that we mature from it. Ultimately, what I also told them was that, at least the neutral news is that we continue to accumulate points, where we were in a rough patch where we weren't getting points, and now we are accumulating points, and where we are compared to the playoff line is very tight now, which is important, because I think the way results were going for a little bit, we were at a little bit of risk of creating a gap between us and where that line is, and now the line is very tight. So it's about taking these learning lessons very quickly and being ready for a game against probably the best team in the league right now, who came here and knocked us out of playoffs last year, and making sure that we're coming here ready to take 3 points.
And then could you take me again through the tactical differences between the first half and second half, where you were able to go ahead and attack differently and get into those spaces where Cincinnati didn't close in?
First half, I think they tried to set a little bit of a higher line against us, and I think they had some trouble defending us in that way. And then in the second half, especially when they get the goal, they go back a little bit, and they make it more of a low block game. But I think the guys overall did a pretty good job creating chances. We created, 1.78 XG against a back 5 team that came here to defend. I think that's pretty good. The main details from a tactical perspective was we just didn't make enough plays in ball recovery to make sure that we didn't concede.
Mike, you've been committed to playing young players, and you had them all over the field again tonight. First goal, second goal were both errors from 19-year-olds. I haven't seen the third goal enough to know if Manu was partially or responsible for that. But are these just the growing pains you have to go through when you play young guys, and you have to just they're going to be nights like this where they're going to make some mistakes that you have to swallow?
100%. And it doesn't make it any, it doesn't soften the blow. Like, you still have to be really upset that you lost the game. But you can't microwave development or experience. Like, that's not how it works. You know, you need to live these experiences. You need to play these experiences. You need to mess up. You need to then be challenged. Can you do better? Then you need that opportunity to show that you can be better. And you know, we have by far the most minutes for players under 21 in the league. You know, and I know everybody wants a finished product very fast in life. That's the world we live in right now. But that's not our mentality. Our mentality is to make sure that we create something that's sustainable. So while we go for the win every single game, we also know that as long as we take the learning lessons during the hard times, that these will eventually help those players be much better players in the future, and also us be a much better team. And that's no excuse, because our job is to win games, and we're always disappointed when we don't. But at the same time, we know there's a larger picture at play here when you have this many young players playing.
And you mentioned Vancouver, your next game. Do you have any thoughts on the situation going on with them? I mean, it's so public about are they going to move it and not going to move it. Can you imagine what it must be like trying to play for a team that has that kind of distraction?
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think the players are able to focus on the day-to-day, because there's just so many things that are outside of their control. And I think the main thing that you see there is that the fans in the city are really behind the team and the club, and I think that helps a lot, because that's probably the bigger friction points when it comes for the players. But when they see that their fans are behind them, I think they go, okay, we're just going to play as hard as we can. And ultimately, I can imagine in that locker room, because so many things are outside their control, they've probably said, like, hey, if this is our last run here, let's make sure it's one to remember. And that can also create a huge sense of motivation. We all look for these kind of storylines, and on our end, it's, you know, they're flying right now. They're a top team, really well coached, really great players, and they knocked us out last year. And so we want the opportunity to level up.
Mikey, en español, ¿sí me podría decir las cosas, aspectos positivos tácticamente, y también los difíciles, y cómo vivió esos últimos instantes con su gol y luego el gol para empatar?
Ya, creo que con balón hemos hecho un buen partido donde causamos mucho daño a un buen equipo que juega con línea de 5. Creo que mostramos otra vez que podemos ser muy dominador en la creación de ataque. Metimos 3 goles. Podríamos haber metido varios más, pero al mismo vez el presión salió muy bien, pero en las vamos a decir, pocas instantes donde Cincinnati tuvo el balón y pudo crear demasiado peligro y no pudimos pararlos de hacer los 3 goles, y esto lo tenemos que ver al nivel de detalle para mejorar, porque es imposible que no ganamos este partido con un partido un poquito más completo. Y bueno, cuando marcas el gol para estar ganando en el momento y sabes que lo único que viene es esta pelota, ya un poquito difícil para comerlo, porque bajamos demasiado nuestra línea, nunca hemos hecho esto, entonces tenemos el duelo casi en el área. Y sin el grupo junto, el grupo, algunos haciendo una cosa, algunos haciendo otro, y después nos ganamos el duelo y no nos perdonan, y ese es el momento que vivimos, y esto duele mucho, pero a la misma vez tenemos que aprender de estos momentos para ser mejores jugadores, mejor entrenador y mejor equipo en el futuro.
¿Y qué fue el mensaje para los chicos después de este partido? Como mencionó, algo de un aprendizaje.
Ya, el mensaje fue: tenemos que cerrar los partidos mejor, porque hemos dejado demasiados puntos en la mesa en partidos donde íbamos ganando. Esto es al nivel individual, pero también al nivel de equipo, y esto tiene que doler, tenemos que estar muy enojados con este resultado. Pero también tenemos que ver que en los últimos partidos hemos sumado puntos y estamos cerquita a esa línea de playoff, que siempre es el reto, y tenemos que usar esta semana para cerrar esta primera parte de la campaña de la mejor manera posible contra un muy buen Vancouver.
Thank you, Mikey.
Thank you, gracias.
Thank you.